Hell, it's Base Trade TV.
Yo, YouTube, what's up? It's been about a hot minute. I'm here to bring you some updates about the channel, but also cast a really fun game. This is from a tournament series we ran recently called the Momentum Cup. Many of you haven't seen this if you just watch on YouTube, and this is going to be the first game I upload from it. But before that, in the bottom left-hand side of the map, here for what was Game 1 in this series, we have the Red Protoss, Strange. And for those who don't know too much about Strange, he's a Russian Protoss player that has actually won a couple of these recent cups I'm referencing. And to the upper right, not staying entirely at home, we have, of course, the Blue Terran. It is Marinelord. En français, mes amis, something like that. But I have this problem right now where I can't take my dog to the dog park anymore. The ducks always attack him. I guess that's what I get for buying a purebred dog. Barracks is being proxied here out of Marinelord, but this is a very kooky barracks because it's a strange location. On Automaton, there's actually blockers here, there's no ground here, and the only way to jump up to the high ground normally is to go all the way down and around over here, which is being conveniently built to block out a Reaper, or up the ramp. What Marinelord's about to do is pretty phenomenal. He's going to lift his barracks up and put it up on the high ground and build the Reaper from here. This is an otherwise impossible move to make to get a Reaper up to this location. So this is going to be really cool to watch. Now, of course, I'm talking in this tense because I know how this goes. I already cast it once, but I want to recast it and do it specifically for you guys here on YouTube. So I could also give you some updates as to what's going on with the channel. Because Rifkin, there hasn't been many original uploads in like 2 weeks. What's going on? So our old YouTube channel, we fashioned it as a VOD storage system, and I tried to do a little bit of that with this new channel. I think some of you still enjoy seeing the tournament content, but separating the individual series takes so much time. Cutting out the ad breaks takes so much time. So what I think I'm going to do with Tournament Cast from now on is just upload them raw as one giant, like 4-hour-long video for you to enjoy or not enjoy at your discretion. That way, I can get back to doing some more of these YouTube original casts, and hopefully y'all will enjoy these, because I think that this has always been a cool idea of what I wanted to do, but never had the time or energy to do. Now this is really cool, because watch this. The Reaper is going to cut around and get a couple of probe kills, but Strange segments a probe over off to the right side to look like, where did this Reaper come from? There must be a barracks in my base. But Marinelord had already lifted it off as soon as that Reaper was made, moved it out of the base, and now there's all kinds of head scratching going on for Strange, like, where did this Reaper come from? Did he just come from the front of my base? I never noticed. Like, this is so wild and crazy. But it's about to get wilder and crazier because there's a factory that's been lifted and put in the main base now too. And keep in mind, for Strange's vision, this is a talented Protoss player that some of you might not know, but again, he has won some of these cups, and he's going to be playing in the grand finals coming up on this coming next weekend, which is Saturday the 11th. But anyways, check this out. Great player. No vision up here. Why would you? You put your pylon down over here, you put your second pylon over here, your third pylon's not coming down for a few moments, and when you do, you probably put it where you thought the barracks was earlier, just see a vision, you won't see this. So the factory doesn't pump out Widow Mines, not initially, it's going to be Hellions. Hellions, of course, can roast up probes pretty well, and typically you want 3 so you get that easy peasy one shot, but 1 or 2, just the splash damage alone can be enough. There is a probe on the other side of the map from Strange that is scouting Marinelord. He sees the starport at home, so he knows there's not going to be a proxy starport, but he also didn't scout the factory, and I don't know if this registered with him, because players don't typically do this. Back once upon a time, before Pult went to military and he was in his prime, Pult would proxy factories and lift them up to main bases all the time. But versus Zerg, not versus Protoss. So nobody really does this, and nobody has really done this. This is the first time established in a pro game I've seen somebody pull off this maneuver. And it's so sick because while the Reapers, the Hellions get a couple of kills there, Reapers that escaped from earlier are back down here to the south. Natural base dies 10 probes down, and now there's Widow Mines being produced out of this. Now Strange is kind of caught wise to the situation. He started splitting his probes. He's not taking as much damage as he was before. 10 workers is rough, but he's going to start stabilizing with the 2 bases. However, these Widow Mines are really dangerous for a couple reasons. One, if the Stalkers get distracted like this and they chase the Reapers away, then the Widow Mine walks up and burrows instead of getting destroyed before burrowing. But good micro and great control, segmenting, sacrificing a probe, Strange keeps this from getting too much damage done. But just so the odd few of you who haven't done something crazy like this before, 3 Stalkers are more than enough to kill the Widow Mine before it burrows, and of course there's the Observer here too for safe measure. Marinelord's attacks stop here, but his opening has got him such a lead in this game. Look at this, 31 SCVs to 20 probes, 2 bases, he's not even stuck in this crazy all-in, and he's building his additional barracks out right now. Reaper at home, gonna clean up this probe, so that's another one, add it to the list, but guess what? That factory only faked going away. Strange saw the factory lift up and leave, and he assumed, why would you bring this back in? Well, Marinelord says, so I can build more Widow Mines, and there's also a combo of cloaked Banshees coming out of this too. But keep in mind, there's an observer, so detection will be an option here for Strange, no question about it. But Marinelord's about to pop out another Widow Mine, walk it on in, and if there's any distractions over here, that Banshee would kill what would normally be probes at the natural. The funny, hard truth of the matter, though, is... Oh, that didn't get the shot off. There's no probes over here. They've all been left in the main base because there's so few workers in play at the moment. So this Banshee, in any conventional sense of TvP, would have actually done a good amount of damage. But in this game, not the case. This is wild. I love TvP. It's really imbalanced sometimes, and I really truly mean that different parts of the game favor different players. And I'm not going to start getting into what I think is the best, the worst. You guys can obviously argue about that in the comments down below. But I do feel that in this game, Marinelord has abused his early game to the fullest extent that Terran's able to. And now he's following it up with something a little bit more normalized, right? We got Stim, we got Combat Shields, we got +1, we got Marauders. Everything from Marinelord isn't actually too far off of what would be regular timings for all of these upgrades and units in production. But for Strange, everything's been kind of thrown out the window a little bit here. We got the Stalkers going for the counterattack, which means there's not going to be that much at home to defend. 2 Stalkers, I think 2 Banshees could actually take on, so I'll have to warp in something additional. Observer in the main base is going to give vision for Strange, so if he'd like to blink up here, he can. There's some awkward blinking that goes on this map, though, because of the limited ways you can get close to the cliff, but this should be enough to poke at the bunker and blink up to the main if he needs to. Those Banshees that had been rallied straight across the field, by the way, were pushed off by the Stalkers, so he's going to rally around. Those Banshees are not coming back home, although if they did, they'd finish off these Stalkers really easily. The initial defense plus the bunker is looking pretty good. There's no force field to worry about in this situation, and the bio count is high enough that if those Stalkers blink up to the high ground, they will lose that fight every single time. Concussive Shells, it's not done yet, but he's not going to need it. Just the damage from the Marauders alone should be enough, even without Stim. And those Banshees start going to town here on the probes, other side of the map. Yikes! Of course, as the Stalkers come in, they will kill the Banshees. He tries to micro the one back, but he micros the Stalker away. Good display of micro and control for both players here, but 6 probes still die. Oh no, this factory's gonna walk into the Stalkers too. It's kind of funny. But I guess it'll also give vision, so if the Marines want to chase into it and any single shots are wasted on that factory, yeah, more power to them. Of course, the factory is burning, but he's not really using the factory. He's already got all the production that he wants in this game. Starport's pumping out units. Marauders, Marines, plentiful. Goes for the charge now, chasing down these Stalkers. And if this game wasn't already Terran favored enough, this fight is not going to go well for Strange unless he can find himself with an Immortal. Which I don't think... Okay, there we go. It's now being started up. Banshee gets cleaned up here, but I mean, it's 11 Stalkers. You can have all the micro in the world. You're just not going to take on 9 Marauders. This is too many. Not to mention they've got medevac support. They've got +1 weapons. Heck, he's going to actually be able to force the pylon here. Oh, it goes for the scan, kills the observer instead. This would depower one of the gateways. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it's still production lost and supply possibly blocked. He goes to target the cyber core instead. He's got the high ground vision from the medevacs, so takes out both these buildings. No more Stalkers, only Zealots can be warped into this point. Immortals, of course, walk into the front line, and an Immortal makes a world of difference here. The Immortal dealing 50 damage a shot to armored units. This can actually tear those Marauders apart. But GG is going to get called, and Marinelord, with some excellent early gameplay, abuses Terran to the fullest extent of the law and takes the game. This, of course, ends up leading on to more tournaments, more games, and if you guys want to check all that out, you can see the VODs up on our Twitch channel, or eventually they may be uploaded here. But to close out the video, first off, guys, like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal, right? Leave me a comment, leave me a message. I read all your messages. Even if I don't respond to them, I'll at least give them like that little YouTuber heart so you know I read them and saw them. But whether you have messages for me or not, the message I have for you guys is that I want to start doing more YouTube-focused content. Our Twitch is doing really well. I'm making a living off of Twitch, so I can afford to focus a little bit more on YouTube. I can't say it's going to be super phenomenal and amazing, but I really am looking for your feedback on these videos, guys. If you like stuff like this, if you want longer series, if you want just short, nice little VODs, let me know. Because I, to be honest, I'm just fishing at this point. I don't really know what to do. I'm just doing what I do best, and let's enjoy some StarCraft with you fine folks. So thank you very much for watching, and one last time to chill out, make sure you like and comment this video. I'll see you guys on whatever the next one is, and hopefully it won't be a week later.